Okay, I'm back. Um, so we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 23. As can see, screen.
Yes, Professor.
Okay. Um, yeah, the Shishumara planetary systems. Shri Sukha Uvacha Ada Tasmat Paratas Trayodasha Laksha Yojanantarato Yattad Vishnu Paramam Padam Abhivadanti Tat Yatra Mahabhagavato Dhruva Auttana Padir Agni Nendrena Prajapatina Kashyapena Dharmena Cha Samakala Yugbhi Sabahu Manam Dakshinataha क्रियमाणा इदानीम् अपि कल्पजीवान् जीविनाम् आजीव्य उपास्ते तस्येहानुभाव उपवर्णितः. Shukadeva Goswami continued, My dear king, 1300,000 yojanas, 10,400,000 miles above the planets of seven sages, is the planet that learned scholars describe as the abode of Lord Vishnu. There, the son of Maharaj Uttanapada, the great devotee Maharaj Dhruva, still resides as the life source of all the living entities who live until the end of the creation. Agni, Indra, Prajapati, Kashyapa, and Dharma all assemble there to offer him honor and respectful obeisances. They circumambulate him with their right sides toward him. I have already described the glorious activities of Maharaja Dhruva in the fourth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. सहि सर्वेषां ज्योतिर्गणानां ग्रहनक्षत्रादीनाम् अनिमिषेनाव्यक्त रमहसा भगवता कालेन ब्राह्मणानां ब्राह्मणानां स्थाणुर् इवावष्टम्ब ईश्वरेण विहितः सस्वत् अवभासते. Established by the supreme will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the pole star, which is the planet of Maharaj Dhruva, constantly shines as the central pivot for all the stars and planets. The unsleeping, invisible, most powerful time factor causes these luminaries to revolve around the pole star without cessation. यथा मेढीस्तम्भ आक्रमण आक्रमणपशवः संयोजिता त्रिभिः सवनैर्यथा स्थानं मण्डलानि चरन्ति एवं भगनां ग्रहादय एतस्मिन् अन्तर्बहिर्योगेन कालचक्रया आयोजिता ध्रुवम् एवावलम्ब्य वायुनोदीर्यमानाम् आकल्पान्तं परिचन् क्रमन्ति नभसि यथा मेघास्यनेदया वायुवशा कर्म सारतयः परिवर्तन्ते एवं ज्योतिर्गणा प्रकृति पुरुष संयोगानुग्रहीताः कर्म निर्मिता गतयो भुवि न पतन्ति. When the bulls are yoked together and tied to a central post to thresh rice, they thread around that pivot without deviating from their proper positions. One bull being closest to the post, another in the middle, and a third on the outer side. Third on the outside. Similarly, all the planets and all the hundreds and thousands of stars revolve around the pole star, the planet of Maharaja Dhruva, in their respective orbits, some higher and smaller, some lower. Fastened by the Supreme Personality of Godhead to the machine of material nature according to the results of their fruitive acts, they are driven around the pole star by the wind and will continue to be so until the end of the creation. These planets float in the air within the vast sky, just as clouds with hundreds of tons of water float in the air, or as the great Shayna eagles, due to the results of past activities, fly high in the sky and have no chance of falling to the ground. केचनैत ज्योतिरनीकं सुषुमारा संस्थानेन भगवतो वासुदेवस्य योगधारा धारणायाम् अनुवर्ण्य अनुवर्णयन्ति. This great machine, consisting of the stars and planets, resembles the form of a Shishumara dolphin in the water. It is sometimes considered an incarnation of Krishna, Vasudeva. Great yogis meditate upon Vasudeva in this form because it is actually visible. Yasya pachhagre avakshirasah kundalibhuta dehasya dhruva upakalpitastasya langule प्रजापतेर अग्निर इंद्रो धर्म इति पुच्छ मूले दाता विधाता च कट्याम सपर सप्तर्षयः तस्य दक्षिणावर्त कुण्डलीभूत शरीरस्य यानि उदगय उदगयनानि दक्षिणपार्श्वे तु नक्षत्राणि उपकल्पयन्ति दक्षिणायनानि तु सव्ये यथा शिशुमारस्य कुण्डलाभोगसन्निवेशस्य पार्श्वयोर् उभयोरपि अव्यवाः समसंख्या भवन्ति पृष्ठे त्व अजवीति आकाश गंगा चोदरतः. This form of the Shishumara has its head downward and its body coiled. On the end of its tail is the planet of Dhruva. On the body of its tail are the planets of demigod Prajapati, Agni, Indra, and Dharma. And at the base of its tail are the planets of the demigods Dhata and Vidhata. Where the hips might be on the Sishumara are the seven saintly sages like Vashishta and Angira. The coiled body of Sishumara chakra turns towards its right side, on which the 14 constellations from Abhijit to Punarvasu are located. On its left side are 14 stars from Pushya to Uttarashada. Then its body is balanced because its sides are occupied by a number by an equal number of stars. On the back of Sishumara is the group of stars known as Ajavithihi, and on its abdomen is the Ganges that flows in the sky, the Milky Ocean. पुनर्वसुपुष्यौ दक्षिणवामयोः श्रोण्योर् आर्धा आर्द्राश्लेषे च दक्षिणवामयोः पश्चिमयोः पादयोरभिजत् उत्तराषाढे दक्षिणवामयोर्नासिकयोर्यथा सङ्ख्यं श्रवण पूर्वाषाढे दक्षिणवामयोर्लोचनयोर् धनिष्ठा मूलं च दक्षिणवामयोः कर्णयोर्मघादीनि अष्टनक्षत्राणि दक्षिणायनानि वामपार्श्ववङ्क्रिषु युञ्जीत तथैव मृगशीर्षादीनि उदयग उद उदगयनानि दक्षिणपार्श्ववङ्क्रिषु प्रातिलोम्येन प्रयुञ्जीत शतभिषा ज्येष्ठे स्कन्धयोर्दक्षिणवामयोर्न्यसेत्. On the right and left sides of where the lions might be on the Shishumara chakra are the stars named Punarvasu and Pushya. Ardra and Aslesha are on its right and left feet. Abhijita and Uttarashada are on its right and left nostrils. Shravana and Purvashada are on its are at its right and left eyes. Dhanishta and Mula are on its right and left ears. The eight stars from the Magha and to Aniruddha. Sorry. The eight stars name from Magha to Anuradha, which marks the southern course, are on the ribs of the left of its body, and the eight stars from Mrigashira to Purva Bhadra, which mark the northern course, are on the ribs on the right side. Shatabisha and Jeshta are on the right and left shoulders. Uttara Hanav Agastir Adhara Hanav Yamo Mukeshu Changharaka Angaraka Sanaishchara Upaste Brihaspatihi Kakudi Vakshasi Aditya Hridaye Narayano Manasi Chandro Nabhyam Usana स्तनयोर अश्विनौ बुध प्राणापानयोर राहुर्गते केतवः सर्वांगेषु रोमषु सर्वे तारागणाः. On the upper chin of the Shishumara is Agasti. On its lower chin, Yamaraja. On its mouth, Mars. On its genitals, Saturn. On the back of its neck, Jupiter. On its chest, the sun. And within the core of its heart, Narayana. Within its mind is the moon. And on its navel, Venus. And on its breasts, the Ashwini Kumaras. Within its life air, which is known as Pranapana, is Mercury. On its neck is Rahu. All over its body are comets, and in its pores are the innumerable stars. Etad uhaiva bhagavato Vishnu sarvadeva sarvadevatamayam rupam aharaha sandhyayam prayato vagyato nirikshamana upatishthena namo jyotirlokaya kalayanaaya animisham पतये महापुरुषायाभि धीमहीति धीमहीति. My dear king, the body of the Shishumara, as thus described, should be considered the external form of Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Morning, noon, and evening, one should silently observe the form of Lord Vishnu, of Lord as Shishumara Chakra, and worship him with this mantra. O Lord, who has assumed the form of time, O resting place of all the planets moving in different orbits, O Master of all demigods, O Supreme Person, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you and meditate upon you. Grahar Ksha Grahar Graharksha Graharkshatramayam wait Graha Grakshatara गृहक्षतारामयम् आधिदैविकं पापापहं मन्त्रकृतां त्रिकालं नमस्यतः स्मरतो वा त्रिकालं नश्येत तत्कालजम् आशुपापम्. On the body of the Supreme Lord Vishnu, which forms the Shishumara Chakra, is the resting place of all the demigods and all the stars and planets. One who chants this mantra to worship that Supreme Person 3 times a day, morning, noon, and evening, will surely be free from all sinful reactions. If one simply offers his obeisances to this form or remembers this form 3 times a day, all his recent sinful activities will be destroyed. Okay. Yeah. Here ends this chapter 23 from the fifth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Shishumara Planetary Systems. Of course, the chapter itself has only nine shlokas. So obviously the purports may not go so many. Here in the first verse, in the second verse, yeah, it's mentioned that Sahi sarvesham jyotirgananam graha nakshatradinam. Hmm? So it says, established by the supreme will of the Lord, pole star, which is Dhruva, which is the planet of Maharaj Dhruva, Dhruvaloka, constantly shines hmm, as the central pivot for all the stars and planets. So, in this regard, it is said, it is distinctly stated here that all the luminaries, planets, and stars revolve by the influence of the supreme time factor. The time factor is another feature of the Lord. Everyone is under the influence of time factor. But the Supreme Lord is so kind and loves his devotee Maharaj Dhruva so much that he has placed all the luminaries under the control of Dhruva's planet and has arranged for the time factor to work under him or with his cooperation. So, yeah, we have heard from Srimad Bhagavatam that Dhruva Maharaj is so great. Hmm? And yeah, such a great devotee. We see what Lord does is he gives us very important service. What is that? To control time. Hmm? Everything is actually done according to the will and the direction of the Supreme Lord, but to make his devotee Dhruva the most important individual within the universe, which means most important individual within the universe, the Lord has placed the activity of time factor under his control. Um, and then there is further, this is a very nice analogy that is given like a bull. That is when the bulls are yoked together and tied to a central post to thresh the rice. Yeah. Now we have all these rice mills which are doing the job, but in those days, the bulls are tied to a pole in the center that's fixed, and these bulls keep walking. When they are walking under that, there are all these paddy field grains, and because they are just stamping on them, the rice is coming out from the from the husk. So in the purport, Prabhupada mentions, according to the description of this verse, the hundreds and thousands of stars and the great planets such as Sun, Moon, Venus, Mercury, Mars, and Jupiter are not clustered together because of law of gravity or any similar idea of modern science. These planets and stars are all servants of the Supreme Lord. Wow, what an understanding, huh? This is the secret of the planets revolving because they are servants. A servant just serves the plan of the master. So here, all the stars and planets, they are servants of the Lord, and that's why they just follow the will of Lord. And that is what I mean, we may give all the scientific justifications. This is gravitational force between the two planets, the gravitational force between the sun and the planet. All these things, but actually, it is the what is this gravity? What is this gravity? What is this attachment? What is this attraction? Or the is basically offering service. These planets and stars are all servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda or Krishna, and according to his order, they sit in their chariots and travel in their respective orbits. The orbits in which they move are compared to machines given by material nature to the operating deities of the stars and planets who carry out the order. Huh? In Brahma Samhita, there is this Yat Chakshur Esha Savita Sakala Grahanam Raja Samasta Suramurti Asesha Teja Yajnas, sorry, Yasyajnaya Brahmati Sambhrata Kala Chakra Govindam Adi Purusham Tamham Bhajam. It says, under whose control even the sun, Kala Chakra, which is considered to be the eye of the Lord, rotates within the fixed orbit of eternal time. The sun is the king of all planetary systems and has unlimited potency in heat and light. To that Lord I offer my obeisances. In the purport it says, sun rotates within a fixed orbit or Kala Chakra in obedience to the order of the Lord. This has nothing to do with gravity or any other imaginary laws created by the material scientists. Hmm. What is the proof for it? मयाध्यक्षेण सूयते सचराचरम मयाध्यक्षेण प्रकृतिः सूयते सचराचरम हेतुनानेन कौन्तेय जगत् विपरिवर्तते. It says this material world is working under my direction, O son of Kunti, and it is producing all moving and unmoving beings. By its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. In elsewhere, Krishna is saying, Ishvara sarva bhutanam hruddeshe Arjuna tishtati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantra rudani mayaya. Krishna, I mean, I think last week, did we discuss this? No, last before week. The Lord is saying, O Arjuna, this I am situated in everyone's heart and is directing the wanderings of all living entities who are seated on a machine made of the material energy. Uh, so we all are in the material energy. We are in the material world. We are in that energy. How are we functioned or directed by the Lord? Who? Where is He sitting? He is sitting in the heart. Hmm? So then, yeah, very important. Then the question of how the planets and stars are floating is also answered in this verse. This is in the context of fifth one, I think. Let me check. No, third one. Third one has a very long purport. Mm, mhm. Yeah, the question. It is not because the laws of gravity, rather, the planets and stars are enabled to float by manipulations of the air. It is due to such manipulations that big, heavy clouds float and big eagles fly in the sky. Modern airplanes like 747 jet aircrafts work in a similar way by controlling the air. They float high in the sky, resisting the tendency to fall to earth. Such adjustments of air are made possible by the cooperation of the principles of Purusha and Prakriti. This goes further. I mean, I also sometimes feel how amazing it is, right? The cloud has the power to cover the sun rays, yeah, that which means it is so thick. Yeah, yeah, how much protection is needed, and that too so close to the sun. But just imagine when a plane goes through this cloud, yeah, what is happening? A plane could very easily go through a cloud. That shows, and of course we know that a cloud carries a lot of water moisture, but just imagine, can we have a bag of water, and can we pass through the bag of water without bursting the bag? No, it's not possible. So the cloud is designed such a way here, and in this regard, I said, hmm, everything is possible by the plan of the Lord, by the cooperation of the material energy, material nature, which is considered to be Prakriti, the supreme personate of Godhead, who is considered the Purusha. All the affairs of universe are going on nicely in their proper order. सृष्टि स्थिति प्रलय शक्तिर साधन शक्ति रेखा छायेव यस्य भुवनानि बिभर्ति दुर्गा इच्छानुरूपं अपि यस्य च चेष्टते स गोविन्दम् आदिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि. So Lord in the form of, yeah, Durga Devi, the external potency Maya, who is of the nature of the shadow of the Chit, spiritual, is worshipped by all people as Durga, the creating, preserving, and destroying agency of this mundane world. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda in accordance with whose will Durga conducts herself. Hmm. So anyway, the creation of the Lord, that's why Parikshit Maharaj is asking, the creation of the Lord is so amazing. Can you please tell me? And then Shukadeva Goswami is telling all this. So it is also significant that the predominating deities of even the greatest uh, planets have been offered their exalted position because of the valuable pious activities they have done in the previous births. Karma nirmita gataya. Example, Prabhupada gives, as we have previously discussed, the moon is called Jiva, which means that he is a living entity like us. But because of his pious activities, he has been appointed to his post as the moon god. Similarly, all the demigods are living entities who have been appointed to their various posts as the masters of the moon, the earth, the Venus, and so on, because of their great service and pious acts. Only the predominating deity of the sun, Surya Narayana, is an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Maharaj Dhruva, the predominating deity of Dhruvaloka, is also a living entity. Thus, there are two kinds of entities: the supreme entity, the Lord, and ordinary living entity, the Jiva. And as per Katha Upanishad, Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam Bahunam Eko Bahunam. All the demigods are engaged in the service of the Lord, and only by such an arrangement are the affairs of the universe are going on. So anyway, in this regard, there are the examples given. In the case of the two examples of the eagle and cloud are sufficient to prove that flying and floating can be made possible through adjustments of the air. The so-called scientists have no control over them. Hmm? The scientists can falsely, improperly declare that there is no God, but this is not a fact. And then this goes further, and the last purport, if yeah, the last shloka, which is the Grahar Kshataramayam, Graha Akshatra Taramayam. Well, let me see how is it divided. Graha Raksha Taramayam, consisting of all the planets and stars. Tara is stars, Graha is planets, Raksha. Raksha means consisting. Mayam is consisting. Griharaksha Taramayam Adi Daivikam. So the body of the Supreme Lord, Lord Vishnu, which forms the Shishumara Chakra, is the resting place of all the demigods and all stars and planets. What does that mean? Prabhupada summarizes in the purport mentioned the summarizing the entire description of the planetary systems of universe. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that one who is able to meditate upon this arrangement as the Virata Rupa or Vishwarupa, the external body of the Lord, and worship Him 3 times a day by meditation, will always be free from all sinful reaction. Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur estimates that Dhruvaloka, the pole star, is 3,800,000 yojanas above the sun. Above Dhruvaloka by 10,000 yojanas is Maharloka. Above Maharloka by 20,000 yojanas is Janaloka. Above Janaloka by 80,000 yojanas is Tapoloka, and above Tapoloka by 120,000 yojanas is Satyaloka. Thus, the distance from the sun to the Satyaloka is 233,800,000 yojanas, or which is equal to 1870 400,000 miles. The Vaikuntha planets begin 26,200,000 yojanas, which is 209,600,000 miles above Satyaloka. Thus, the Vishnu Purana describes that the covering of the universe is 260,000 yojanas, 260,000 yojanas, which is 2,080,000 miles away from the sun. The distance from the sun to earth is 100,000 yojanas, and below the earth by 70,000 yojanas are the 7 lower planetary systems called Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, and Patala. Below these lower planets by 30,000 yojanas, Seshanaga is lying on the Garbhodaka ocean. That ocean is 249 800,000 yojanas deep. Thus, the total diameter of the universe is approximately 500,000 yojanas, which is 4,000 miles. Hare Krishna. What do we want to know more? Hmm? Hare Krishna. So much to know. In the end, where are we? Just imagine when we are talking about few miles itself, it's so much. We're talking about so much. That's why people start calling something. I think they use a term called, what is it called? Light year? Huh? Speed is measured in light years, if I'm not wrong, or
Yes, Prabhuji, light years.
No,
yeah,
distance is light year.
distance. What is 1 light year equal to? The distance that sun can travel in 1 minute or 1 second?
Light can travel in 1 year.
What? No, light year. That's why.
Yes.
Okay.
3 lakh kilometer per second, and then we have to multiply all the seconds of a year.
Okay. At least fine. Okay. I don't have much to add on, but helps to understand that there's quite a bit of description. We are not just talking like a creative, yeah. It's indeed existing, and all this 14 planetary system. There is Maharloka. Uh, this is not Mahesh Dham, where Lord Shiva is residing. This is Maharloka, Janaloka, the upper Loka, Satyaloka on the upper planetary system. Then Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Rasatala, Patala. These are the planets that are in the down. Yeah, and then we are in the middle. Okay, I wish you a very nice evening, and tomorrow we'll cover another chapter. Actually, I was thinking because this has only 9 verses, it would be, yeah, we could already go into the next one. But yeah, we'll cover that tomorrow, leisurely. Panchakalpatarabhyascha कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। हरे कृष्ण।